Okay, so welcome you all to this next class, and the topic today we are going to cover is behavior driven development, that is BDD. This is something which is buzz in these days in market where so I'll start with what is BDD first. So what is BDD? BDD is behavior driven development, and it is understanding the behavior of your software before developing it. Okay, in this particular way of development, what we do is, first of all, we test. These tests are written in plain descriptive English. Okay, tests are explained as a behavior of application. BDD brings confidence to the stakeholders as covered scenarios or use cases are written in simple to understand English. There is improved collaboration between your stakeholders, business analysts, developers, and QAs in the team. What exactly I'm trying to say here is that the test cases which we write in this are in plain English. Let's say, for example, I want to log into my application. Okay, so that is one scenario for your stakeholders. So how I will write test case in this is, I'll in plain English I'll write, given I'll navigate to my application. Then I entered username, I entered correct password, and then I clicked on login button and I logged in successfully. So here we are discussing the behavior in plain English. At the backend, there will be a code which will run, there will be proper assertions which will validate whether the scenario you mentioned is actually executed properly or not. Let's take another example. Let's say you are automating Guru 99 application, okay, and in that you had to add a customer. So for your stakeholders, what is the behavior, what is the scenario, or what is the use case? For your stakeholder, your use case is that your manager should be able to add a customer in my application. Okay, so how will I do that scenario? I'll simply in plain English, I'll write that I navigate to Guru 99 bank home page. Then I log in with correct credentials, with manager credentials. Then I navigated to add customer section. I enter following details of the customer. I'll list down all the details, and at the end I'll simply say user was added successfully. Verified user added successfully. In plain English, I'll write test cases. Okay, we'll learn how those plain English test cases are actually executed at the back end. But this plain English which we are writing, this is very easy for your stakeholders to understand, for your business analysts to understand, because these are two people who are non-technical people. They don't understand the technical things which we have learned, the framework which we developed. So now they are in that framework, the test cases are written such a way that only technical people can understand, right? But BDD helps non-technical people like your stakeholders and your business analysts to understand that what exactly you're testing, whether that fulfills the requirement we have for application or not. Okay, so BDD is where behavior is considered more over the actual test cases. So if all my behaviors are working fine, that means my application is built as expected. Okay, so what is Cucumber then? Like, we understand what is BDD. Now what is Cucumber then? There are many tools or frameworks available in market which helps you in achieving BDD, that is behavior driven development. Cucumber is one such testing framework. So Cucumber is a testing framework which supports behavior driven development. It lets us define application behavior in plain English using a simple grammar defined by a language called Gherkin. So in this particular Cucumber, we will be using one language known as Gherkin. Okay, this language is the language of plain English, where there are few keywords which we'll learn, and then rest everything is Selenium. So you can say at the backend, I'll still be writing my Selenium test cases, but over those Selenium test cases, I'm writing or creating another layer or a wrapper where my test case will be written in plain English. There will be a mediator which will take these English sentences and execute the code at the backend. Okay, and who get benefits from it? Your stakeholders, your business analysts. These are the two main people who get benefits out of it. Even your developers as well, because developers will also have that mindset of developing the code in like understanding the market, understanding the requirement, and then writing the code. Okay, and QAs are the people who actually write these behaviors. So yeah. So any questions till now? So did you understand what is BDD? In simple terms, what is BDD? It's behavior driven development, where behavior is taken more seriously. Okay, and these behaviors are generally designed, or you can say are decided by discussing with your stakeholders and business analysts that this is what I'm writing, this is what you expect. If he says yes, that means this is what is expected out of my application, and I'll write down all the scenarios. At the backend we'll run our Selenium code and we'll achieve it. Okay, just one more point. This Cucumber framework is something which is not necessary that it is used only with Selenium. It can be used with any other automation tool as well. It's just a wrapper. At the backend, your whatever you will write, that's fine. So even without Selenium, Cucumber works absolutely fine. Okay, but yeah, it has become very famous with Selenium automation tool. Um, okay, so now for this, I have created one cheat sheet. Okay, just go through, like I'll share this at the end of the class. Just go through it at before your interviews. Uh, and just go through it before your interviews, and you will be able to answer almost all the questions. Now, Rupesh, you have a question. If you don't use BDD, how it will be different? Okay, so before BDD, whatever we developed till yesterday is what we got. Now, tests you can see are written like this. Just give me a second. Yeah, test cases are written like this. Here, these are the test cases which you have written. Verify home title page, and all these test cases which you are writing, these are written by your by QAs only, right? We might miss something out of it. Maybe all the functionalities are working fine, but my stakeholders was expecting something differently. Okay, so if you are using BDD, then your stakeholder can go through that document. In some time, I'll show you how plain English is written. So you can just give that plain English document to your stakeholder and tell them that this is what I have written. Go through it. Let me know this is what you expect or not. But if you'll give this document to your stakeholder, he'll not be able to understand, right? So it's again what is expected out of your project. Then only you will be able to decide whether you want to go with BDD or not. Because if, let's say, your stakeholders has full confidence in you, or they don't want to get into this mode that they where they will see whether all my scenarios are being covered or not, then in that case, these are fine. Like the test cases which we have developed in our framework are absolutely fine. But if your stakeholder wants to see what all scenarios you're covering, whether that fulfills my requirement or not, then you can write your test cases in plain English. That plain English is actually Gherkin language, and the framework used is Cucumber, and that whole process is known as BDD. Did I answer your question, Rupesh? Okay, so I'll just close it, and we'll create a new project for learning Cucumber, and yeah, let's create a Java project, and I'll name it, let's say, learning Cucumber, and let's put today's date, 17/12/2017. Okay, so first step is to create a Cucumber project. We have to create a Java project that we have already done. Then we have to import certain jar files in the project. So there is a long list of jar files. I have listed all of them here. Okay, and from where you will get it, you can get it from Maven. Okay, currently I'm telling you the basic way. Once we will learn Maven, like in next class we'll cover Maven also, like how to create Maven projects. That time you can convert your normal project into your Maven project. Currently I'll just go to this Maven repository. MVN repository is one. Okay, here just give the name of the jar files which I have mentioned here. Like the first one is cucumber course. I'll just copy it and paste it here. Search for it. Okay, you will get many options. Always take the first one because that will be the authorized one. Okay, so cucumber core. Okay, just go to this, and from here you can download it. The latest version available is 1.2.5, so you can simply select this, and from where you can download. Um, yeah, this is the one. In the files you have pom and jar, so just download the jar file. Okay, we will also be needing this thing, that is the dependency, but this will need once we'll create our projects into Maven. For now you can just simply download this jar file, so just click on it. It will download on your system like this. Copy, search all these jar files: cucumber core, cucumber java, cucumber jmunit, cucumber jvm depend deps, cucumber reporting, gherkin junit, mockito all, and cobertura. So these are 9 jar files which you need. Just search them, all of them here, one by one, download them, keep them in your libs folder. This is manual, for manual steps. Once we'll move to Maven, then you just have to add this dependency that we'll learn once we'll cover Maven. Okay, so for now I have downloaded all those jar files on my system. So I'll import those jar files. Right click, build path, configure build path, libraries, add external jar. There is a cucumber folder in my libs, and these are the jar files which I need. So I'll just import all those, and I'm good to start with cucumber. Just one more thing, I also need Selenium because I'll be integrating it with Selenium. So I'll also add one of the jar file, which is Selenium jar file, Selenium standalone jar file. So 10.35.3 is the latest one I have. Currently in market we have 3.6 as well. Okay, so all my jar files I have imported. Now I'm good to start with this. So here the first step is done. How to import jar files? You have to download from Maven repository. I'll just paste the link of this Maven repository so that you can download it. Okay, otherwise this I'll share this document so um, you can follow it. And for Maven we'll see once we'll cover Maven. Okay, now next is writing our first test in the cucumber. Okay, so for that I'll explain certain steps. You have to follow them one by one, and you will be able to uh, create it. Okay, once you understand how to write steps, after that cucumber is very easy. So there are like 5 or 6 topics which we have to cover, so we'll cover them one by one. So the first step what you have to do is you have to create a folder. I'll say, I'm repeating, it's not package, it's a folder. So create a folder with name features. Again, you can give any name here, but features is a more relevant term because we'll be creating features file in it, and I'll in some time I'll explain you what is features file. So just create a folder with name features, and in this we'll create features file. So what is a features file? um, I'll explain. Yeah, what is a feature file? Feature file is something, is a no is a like, it has an extension dot feature. It's a file in which first of all you'll mention what feature you are going to do. Second, you will mention what is the scenario you are going to automate, and in scenario you will write the steps. All these things, whatever I mentioned, everything will be written in plain English. Okay, just one more point. Uh, there is one software which you have to install. This is the software. Actually, it's not the software, it's a plugin which you have to install. I'll just copy it and share it with you all. Okay, what it do is, if you'll not have your feature, whatever just I pinged, if you don't have this plugin installed, then you will not get your feature files in specific format. I'll show you. See, I'm creating a feature file. Let's say I'm naming it as Facebook login dot feature. As soon as I write feature dot feature and press enter, you will see a file will be created, some sample file will be created which has some samples, something already written. Okay, if you'll not have this plugin which I just mentioned installed on your system, then you will not get once this symbol, and here whatever you are writing, that will be like a normal text file. Okay, and how to install this? Just go to help, there is an option install new software. Go to that, copy paste this path, here. Okay, you can see as soon as you copy paste, below Cucumber Eclipse plugin is coming. Okay, just select this and click on next, accept the license, click on finish, and that's just that plugin will get installed on your system. And after that, whatever feature file you will create, that will have one this symbol. The symbol is the symbol of cucumber. This is the logo of the cucumber. And now whatever you will write inside this, that will be like a keyword in it. Okay, so whatever you see here, whatever terms you see here, these are the things which we have to learn. Okay, so first thing, this hash symbol you see, uh, this is for commenting anything. So currently everything is like commented out. Rest, author is like who is writing this test case. Then keywords, there are many keywords. Summary is like giving the complete summary of what this feature do and why you are writing this feature. That is the first keyword. Then feature is a keyword which tells us what is the feature we are going to write. Then scenario is the business rule through list of steps with arguments, like this is uh, this is the actual test case what you're going to achieve. Then given, when, then, and, but, these are certain keywords which helps us in writing steps. Okay, then uh, scenario outline I have not used, examples I'm not used. Then background will learn. Then whatever you see here, double quotes, this sign, that at symbol, less than equal to symbol, double quotes, and then these are some special characters. So we'll learn about these special characters as well. And then in the last, comments is for hash. So for now, I'll just remove all of these, and whatever I mentioned here, whatever list of things I mentioned here, okay, if you understand, if you cover all these things, that means you're done with cucumber. There is nothing more than these keywords which we saw. Even not all are required, but most of the things will cover. Okay, so any questions till now? Nishta, you have a question. What is GitHub? It's a totally relevant question for now. Let give me just remind me, and at the end I'll explain you. Okay, so that is something which is out of context for now. Let's cover it at the end. Please remember this. Okay, so I'll continue with it now. So first step, what you have to do here is, first of all, we'll write a feature. There is a keyword called feature, you have to write that, then a colon. Okay, as soon as I press spacebar, you can see its color has changed from blue to green. Why this happened? This happened because the plugin we installed. Okay, if you'll not have that plugin, it will remain in plain English. Though it will not affect, I mean, if you'll not install this software, then this plugin, then also things will work fine. But it's just that if you'll keep this, then it is more readable. Your code is more readable here. Okay, so we'll write the name of the feature. Say for example, I'm testing Facebook login page. Okay, so this is my feature that I'm testing uh, Facebook login page. Okay, I press enter, then I'll write scenario. There is a keyword called scenario, colon, and here in plain English, I'll write uh, testing, or let's write one scenario. Uh, login to Facebook page with correct credentials. Okay, so this is my scenario. After that, as I mentioned that there are certain keywords available. Those keywords are these keywords: given, when, then, and, but. These are four keywords which we have. Okay, these keywords, these keywords are the keywords which are used by your cucumber to understand what you want to achieve. Okay, so here I'll say first step will always be a given. Given means a condition, anything you're some condition, some sort of condition, and here you will write in plain English what you want to do. So given user navigates to Facebook login page. This is in plain English. I've written this, and you can see that currently it has changed to, it is highlighted with some yellow color. So why this highlight? Why it is highlighting? It is highlighting because currently we don't have any mapping for it. It's a plain English for now. So everything will do, but let's complete this scenario. So first step I have written is given user navigates to Facebook login page. Then it's another keyword. Which all keyword we have? Given, when, then, and, but. Okay, so just think what you want to uh, uh, what you want to do. Here I want to log in, so I'll simply say given this user navigates to this, when user enters correct username, this is the one. Okay, then I'll say uh, and user enter correct password. Okay, uh, then again I can say and user clicks on login button. Okay, then what happens then? What happens when you do all this? This was given that user navigates to Facebook login page when user enters correct username and user enter correct password and user click on login button, then user logs in login successfully log in successfully. Okay, so this is what I want to achieve. So this is my scenario. What I have written scenario is login to Facebook with credential. This is what I want to do. What I am doing, this was given that user navigates to Facebook login page when user enter correct username and user enter correct password and user clicks on login button, then user logged in successfully. Now, if somebody who does not know, who is not a technical guy, you don't have to look into your test cases at the back end, like what actually you're doing to achieve. They can just read this and get a confidence. Okay, that means when we perform this scenario, my Facebook login will work as expected. Okay, so this is the benefit of BDD, and this is the feature file I was talking about. So it is written in plain English. Now you can just share this page with your stakeholders. Okay, so any questions till now? Okay, now next step is, so we have written a scenario. Here we said that first of all we'll create a feature file. So I created a feature file with all the steps. Okay, next step is create a test runner. What does create a test runner means? See, it's very simple. Uh, just consider that cucumber is there somewhere in between. If I want to explain you, just give me a second. Let's consider that here's okay. Let's consider that somewhere here we have a cucumber. Okay. Then here we have a feature files which is written in plain English, and this given when then whatever you see here, this is Gherkin language. Okay. So this cucumber will read this. Okay. Then whatever step you have written here, there will be a mapping in something known as step definition. So there is something known as step definition. I'll just write step definition. So there will be a mapping in the step definition for this feature file. Okay, and then there will be an intermediator who will read this feature file and executes the step definition for it. So this mediator which I'm talking about, that is what I'm going to create now. So just remember then when you have to work with the cucumber or specflow is also same. Specflow is just that it's for C# language, whereas cucumber is for Java language. Whenever you have to do, first of all you will write a feature file, which I've just done. Okay, then there will be a intermediator which will read this feature file and will execute step definition for you. Okay, so for every line in feature file there will be one definition in step definition. This intermediator has to understand which to execute, so it will read from here and execute from here. Okay, so any questions till now? Okay, then I'll move on to the next step, and next step is in my source folder I'll create a new package and I'll name it anything. Maybe you can name it test runner. You can give it any name. So let's say I'm giving it a name, test runner. Now in this test runner, I'll create a class and I'll call it cucumber runner. Any name you can give again. Click on finish. Okay. Now before this class, we have to give certain annotations. So the first annotation what you have to give will be this, at run with. This is the first annotation you have to give. That means we here will be telling you have to take run with, and you have to take one from org.junit.runner. Actually this cucumber needs junit to execute the code. Okay, so it uses junit, and here we will say cucumber, you have to take one from cucumber.api.junit dot class. Okay, so what does this mean? This means when you'll execute this particular file, it will run from this. So the first class which will execute will be this cucumber class. Okay, and it needs one more thing, that is cucumber options. Sorry, it is, the name of this is cucumber option. Okay, and you have to take one from api.cucumber options. Now in this cucumber options, we'll be mentioning two things. Okay, two important properties or attributes you'll be giving. First is where is your feature files. First step is where is your feature files. So you will just say features equal to the name of the folder where your feature files are there. So my feature files are there in this features folder. So I'll just give here features. Okay. Similarly, next is you also need to tell where are your step definitions. Okay, currently I don't have any folder where I can have step definitions. So I'll create one folder, one package here with any name. Maybe you can name it as test or you can name it as step definition, whatever you feel like. Okay, so I just named it step definition. Copy this name and finish. And I'll give this name step definition here with one attribute known as glue, and the value of this glue will be where your step definitions are. Okay, so what we are doing is in this class file we are telling when I'm executing this, load this as the first class, and this class needs certain properties, certain attributes. Those attributes are features and glue, features and step definition. So this features will tell you where your feature files are, and this glue will map those feature files with the step definition. So this is the package where your actual code will reside. Okay, so here your features will reside and here your code will reside or your step definition will reside. So when you'll execute this code, it will run and will execute these code, whatever is written in this. Each line will be mapped with one statement and step definition, which will learn in some time and will find it and will execute it. Clear? No, Nishta, step definition is not what we have written in our feature file. In feature file, we have written a feature where we have written one scenario. In that, we have written certain steps. This is, it will read those feature file. It will read that feature file. It will read all those steps. For each step, there will be a code written that will be written in one of the class in step definition, which we have not written yet. So step definition we have not written yet. Okay, and it will execute those steps written in step definition. So simple mapping, read from feature file, okay, map it with step definition and execute the step definition. How that mapping is done, for that there is a class called cucumber_runner.java in which we are mentioning, first we are mentioning which class to load, and then we are mentioning where to take features and where to take step definition, and we are done. Clear? Any questions till now? Okay, now what I'll do, without any step, I'll execute this code and let's see what happens. Okay, just one more thing. Come here. Okay, so scenario you have written, it's fine. Just do one thing, do a right click and click on pretty format. Okay, and the shortcut is Control Shift F. Just click this. You will see that your code is aligned properly. It's you can see that earlier given was just exactly starting with the scenario word, but now it has some gap. Okay, how does this came? Because I just uh, intended it properly. Okay, indentation is done properly. Okay, now save this file, and now I'll do this cucumber runner.java, right click, run as java test. Okay, it ask for something, so just select this. Okay, actually what happens is on my Eclipse there are two JUnits which are installed. You might not get this in this configuration, but uh, if you have Android JUnit test launcher also installed, then you might get this option. There can be many more JUnit launchers as well. We know need is Eclipse JUnit launcher, so I'll select this, click on OK, and it will execute Eclipse test case. After this it will not ask you again. Okay, now here if you'll observe, the report which has come as a JUnit report, the test case is passed because it is showing a green tick. Okay, I'll expand it, and when I expand it you will see that it went to feature, then it went to these steps, but if you look at these steps they are skipped. Okay, 6 skipped steps. Why these steps are skipped? These steps are skipped because there is no definition of these. They are just written in plain English, but there is no mapping or no code written to execute them. Right? Now, next step for us will be to create those steps. But if you'll observe, when I executed this code, if I go to this console, if I expand this console, it has given me some suggestions. It is saying that 5 steps were skipped. If you'll see, you can implement missing steps with the snippet below. So it gives me all the steps which I'm missing. It gives me one some snippet. What I'll do, I'll just copy those snippets, go to my package explorer. In my step definition, I'll create a class and I'll call it Facebook login step definition. Okay, you can give any name to it, no matter what, you can give any name to it. Just remember you have to create it in step definition package. Why? Because we mentioned in our Cucumber runner class where my step definition classes will be. So just click on finish. Okay, and here do a control V. I just copy pasted all the steps which were written there and here. Okay, now here you will observe this, that for each keyword here, okay, just leave this feature and scenario because they are just like your, this is like your test case name, and this is what this is like your suit. So here you are testing one feature where the first test case is this: log into Facebook with correct credentials. Okay, so all these things which you see here, they are steps given user navigates to Facebook login, when user enters the correct username, this and then this. So these are steps. Now for each keyword here, like here we have a keyword given, when, and, then, but. These are keywords. So for each keyword there is one, if I come to this, there is one annotation: at given, at when, at when, then at then. So there is one keyword. Now just hover over it. It asks you to import this given from cucumber.api.java.en. Just select this and this error will go on. And here you can see this import is. Now just to remove all the errors in one go, just change this, like select this given and change it with a star, with an asterisk, and save your file. You will see all at given, at when, at then are not throwing any exception now. Okay, and I'll remove all the to do, or you can say the snippet here. I'll just remove all these because we'll write our own logic. Okay, so where is the error now? Yeah, this one. Okay, now let's understand it one by one, what we are doing here. So the first statement in my feature is, in my scenario is, given user navigates to Facebook login page. In my Facebook definition, I see at given there is a statement user navigates to Facebook login page. Okay, that means there is a sentence we have which is exactly same as what we have written here, and there is some method written for it, public void user navigates to Facebook login page, which this method you can change whatever way you want. Okay, so here user navigates to Facebook login page, this is fine, but I can write it properly like navigate to to Facebook page, right? Nothing will change because the mapping is with this line where we have a given keyword, and this statement, this given keyword will change to add given annotation, and this statement will come, user navigates to Facebook login page, will come here. Okay, we have this hat symbol and this dollar symbol as well, which we'll learn in some time what is the purpose of it. Okay, so just give me 1 second. Okay, so now I'll write logic in it. Inside this, I'll write the logic. So what we have to do is navigate to Facebook. What I'll do, let's start here as we have to integrate Selenium. So here I'll start. First step will be WebDriver. Let's say the name of the instance is driver. Then from uh, from from any of the class, I'll just copy paste these steps. Okay, and I'll paste it here. And we'll change this to facebook.com. Okay, so my first step, which is user navigates to Facebook login page, what we are doing in it is we are navigating to Facebook page, and I have written the complete code of navigating to Facebook. Okay, then next is user enter correct username. So let's say here I create a new variable, and let's say I name it username, and any name you can give. Say for example, I've giving a name Saurabh. Okay, my email ID. Okay, next is here it will be driver dot find element by dot id, and the id will be, let's say, user dot send keys, and the value you'll pass will be username here. Okay, so this is what you will do when you have to enter username. I'll just copy it. Okay, paste it here. We'll change this username to password, this user to pass, and here it will change to password. Okay, then I have to click on login button, right? So I'll say driver dot find element by dot, let's see what we have for id. So I'll just open shift control p, facebook.com. So I'll just get this password. Rest two are, I know that they are same, so I'll just copy this uid. Okay, and yeah, by dot id and equal to this, and what you have to do on it is click. Okay, after that we have to verify that user logs in successfully. For now I'm not verifying, I'm just simply writing one statement and saying user logged in successfully. Going forward we'll learn how to uh, put assertions and all. Okay, so for now I'll just simply say user logged in successfully. Okay, so this is how your mapping is done. Now what we are doing is in features file we are writing. Now one more thing, as soon as I save this file, okay, uh, just a second. I have written the feature, now it should come. Just give me a second. Yeah, now you can see there is no error warning symbol which is coming. Okay, then given user navigates to Facebook login, if I press F3 on it, you can see I navigated, I automatically move to this. Okay, so here the statement is user navigates to Facebook login page. As soon as I press F3, I navigated here. So here the logic is written. Similarly, when user enters correct username, if I press F3, I'll navigate here. And here you will see that there is no warning symbol coming because now each statement has a step definition available. And when you'll execute this code from this cucumber runner.java, right click run as JUnit test, you will see that your scenario will execute properly. So you can see Chrome browser has invoked. What happened? I guess. Okay, it's email, not user. So I'll just copy it, change my code. So here it's email, and what about password? Password is pass only. So that means only this is wrong. So I'll just execute it again. Cucumber runner.java JUnit test. Okay, here you can see username was entered correctly, password was entered correctly, and then as the username and password are different, or you can say not correct, it is not logging in. Okay, so this is how you will map. Now this is the very first step where we created one feature file and executed that step. Clear? Any questions now? Okay, Rishabh, you have a question. Can we not integrate it with our existing modular framework? We can integrate. See, what we can do is uh, in modular framework, this layer which we created, this test Mercury layer, in these we have written all the scenarios, right? Over this, when we are executing it through testng dot XML files, right? These complete execution.xml or like this. Okay, one thing, this testng what we are using, instead of testng, it will be replaced by JUnit. Okay, not much changes will happen, few changes will happen. So your this test ng will change to JUnit. So all your test cases which are written in test ng you have to write in JUnit, and this XML file will not come, rather this step definition and these features files will start coming. Okay, so you have to add one more layer over it, which will be feature file. Then this the other thing which I mentioned, that is cucumber.java you need to add, and then step definitions you need to add. Step definitions will be like this in your modular framework. These tests which you have written, these will be replaced with your step definitions. Rest everything will remain same. So as in the start I told you that in my modular framework I can remove one layer and I can introduce the other one, right? Because rest everything will remain same for me. Only thing which will change will be these tests which are written in testng will be replaced with JUnit or you can say step definition, and instead of XMLs we'll have feature files. Okay, and Rishabh, you have a question. What about the testng annotation used in our test layer? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Those layers, this will be replaced with step definition. So you will completely remove the testng and will introduce Cucumber in it, because Cucumber works with JUnit. REST complete framework will remain as it is. So this layer will change. So the top two layers will change, you can say. Okay, if I open Selenium with Java and Selenium modular framework, if I open this PPT here, see these will remain as it is because here Selenium is there. Application layer will remain as it is because here were not using testng at all. Okay, rest everything will remain same. Okay, what change will be happen? These two layers will change. This layer, that is test case layer, this will be replaced with step definition, and this layer will be replaced with features file, and certain test utility might change because test utility like data provider was being used with testng, so that will be replaced with something in features file. Okay, rest everything will remain same. Config.properties will remain same. This will remain same. All your utilities will remain same. The way you do logging will remain same. The way you do take screenshot will remain same. Yeah, one more thing, this interacting report might change. You need to search some other reporting utility which can read um, Cucumber reports. So these three things will change. Rest everything will remain absolutely same. Okay, so any questions till now? Okay, so moving on to the next topic. Next topic is, what is this hat symbol and what is this dollar symbol? Okay, so these two things what you see here, they are known as regex. Okay, regex means they have some special meaning. Okay, what meaning we have? See, if in my feature file, if I change this user navigates to login page, what I'll do from here, I'll remove this dollar sign and I'll remove this hat symbol. Control S and I'll execute the code. Uh, and when I execute the code, you will see your code will absolutely work the way it was intended. Okay, so you can see it has navigated to Facebook page. That means those two things were of no use for now. Okay, so let's learn what is the actual use of those hat symbol and this dollar symbol. What I'll do in my feature file, I'll say user navigates to Facebook login page on production environment. Okay, on production environment. Okay, and if I execute this statement, this cucumber runner.java, right click, run as JUnit test, you will see that it's still working fine. Though there was no matching statement, though in this feature file, this statement, this thing does not matches with anything in this step definition file, still it is executing. So how come it is executing this? This is executing because if you are not putting that hat symbol and this dollar symbol, it is like a contains method. So it will just search whether this statement, like some part of the statement is available in some step definition or not. Okay, if you want that on production should not be considered, okay, that means if you want there should be an exact matching, like here user navigates to Facebook login page on production, this should exactly match with one of the step definition, then you have to add a dollar symbol at the end and you have to add at a hat symbol in the start. This means that we are looking for one step definition which starts with user and which ends with page. Okay, but the step definition we have here ends with production. So when we'll execute this code here, right click, run as this. When we'll execute this code, you will observe now the step will not execute. Here you can see that step is not executed, and rest everything is also not executed because the first step was skipped. Okay, so first step was skipped and rest everything was also not executed because now Cucumber didn't find anything which exactly matches with this. Okay, here there is no step definition. So remember this, what this dollar sign means. This means that we are looking for one thing which ends with page, and this means we are looking for something which starts with user and in between also should match exactly. Okay, so if you want an exact matching, then you have to use this dollar symbol and this at symbol as hat symbol. If you don't have these two things, then there will not be an exact matching. And then if some partially matching will is there, then also will execute. Okay, any questions till now?
Hello. Hello, Saurabh.
Yeah, Poonam, you have any question?
Yeah, I want to ask we have only one feature file, or for every scenario or module, we have to create a different feature file?
Yeah, it will be just the way you want to segregate. Like here, my feature says Facebook login page. Okay, so for
Yes.
me, whatever is there on Facebook login page, I'll test everything. Like if I go to my Facebook page, what all I have this login, I have this forgotten pass account, I have create account. So all these scenarios I can write here. So it's just like your POM, uh, page object model. In page object model, we were mapping one page with one class file, right? So whatever is there on this page, I'll write in this feature. If you'll go inside some other feature is there, you want to keep that as a separate, create a new feature file and do it. Okay, step
But on
definition.
that page, we have all different scenarios that forget password and other things. The when we're writing the scenario, we are using the same keyword like given, when,
Yes, yes,
and
yes.
so
You
it
will
will
be.
map.
No, no. I'll tell you what happens is. Let's say there is another scenario for me. I'll say scenario. Let's say scenario is register to login page to Facebook. Okay, so this is my second scenario. Register to Facebook, and here again I'll use these two. This first step will remain same. That is given when user log into Facebook homepage. The step will remain same. I'll just remove this on production. Okay, the step will remain same. I'll from here also I'll remove. Okay, so these two statement will be mapped with the same step definition. For others, you need to add
Yes.
new one. Like here, I'll say when user enters first name. Poonam, can you go on mute, please? When you'll have any question, that time unmute.
Yes.
So here, I'll say user enters first name and user enters last name and so on. You will write the complete scenario here. Okay, so whatever statement will be exactly same, like here user navigates to Facebook login page and here user navigates to Facebook login, they are same. So you don't have to write the step definition again. They will be used, they will use the common step definition. For others where you don't have any step definition, add the step definition. And these step definition will even be shared between different feature files. Like here you are using single feature file and you're sharing. If you'll create another feature file, then also that feature file will you don't have to write it again, it will be mapped with the desired one. If you want a different one, then you have to change the sentence. Did I answer your question, Poonam?
So in the step definition file, we have to again write for the with the notation at the rate when and end
Yeah,
for
at
the
when.
register
Yes, yes, because mapping is not with at and when. Mapping is with the statement you write. Like here,
scenario.
user navigates to login page. This is being mapped here. Okay, so at given is this. At given will map this, and then the user navigates to Facebook login page. This will be mapped with this. Okay, so both should map. If both are mapping, then only this will execute. Clear? Okay, so any other questions here? For now, I'll just remove this register part. Okay, so we have this scenario. Okay. Uh, okay. Now, next, what we will learn here is, if you'll observe in this feature file, I'm just mentioning, Shubhanshu, you have a question. Just let me take your question. Is it mandatory to give given keyword in each? Yes, given, no, not mandatory. Just write in a way that someone can understand. Like given user navigates to Facebook login page, this I can understand. Okay, then what he's doing, uh, when what is you doing and what is doing, and then what you are doing, and so on. So it's like plain English. Think the way you can write, but it's just that these keywords must be there. If this given, when, and if any one of these keywords, like if none of these keyword is available, then it will not understand it. So this given tells it that you are going to execute a given statement. When tells this line that you are going to execute one when symbol, when statement. Okay, so it's for our understanding. It's just that you have to have at least one keyword before a statement. Okay, now here, if you'll observe carefully, the username and password which I'm entering, they are not parameterized. They don't have any argument. We have a hard-coded username and hard-coded password. Here username is this value, which is hard-coded, and we have a password which is also hard-coded. So if let's say I change this password to something more relevant. Okay, so that means you when you have to change this username and password, you have to come to your step definition and then change. Okay, uh, you can also do this by another way, by passing this value as a parameter. So for that, what I'll do here, I'll change this to, instead of user enter correct username, I'll change it to uh, username as let's say my username. So I'll write Saurabh dot d 2106 at gmail.com. Okay, I do this, but as soon as I change this, my statement has changed. So that means my code will also change, or step definition also change. So in my step definition, I'll change it to this, and now whatever statement you have after this, that is Saurabh.d, this value can change anytime. That means I cannot copy this value directly. You need to take this value, that is this email ID, as a parameter. So for that, what we can do is, here we can put it like this, dot, then a star, and control S. As soon as you control S, here also when you save, okay, I need to reopen it. You can see that there is no error now, because we have used one regex. What it says is, user enters a username as, then a space, After that, till the end, whatever you're getting, take the complete value. Okay, and that we will enter as a variable. So I'll say user name. Okay, and then you can simply remove this statement. Okay, now it will take this value, whatever is there after this as spacebar will be considered as a username and will be passed here. Clear? Any questions? So what does this dot means? Dot means character and star means any count. So these are two regex. So dot star means that you are looking for something, whatever comes after as spacebar, take everything as a parameter and put it in user name. Okay. Similarly, here the second step definition will also change. Here it will be and user enter. Uh, I can say password as, let's say, pro at 1234. I'll take this complete statement. Okay, paste it there. Okay, and we'll replace this value with again start, sorry, parenthesis dot star parenthesis close. Okay, and you need to enter the, I mean, you need to map it with a parameter. So I'll say password, remove this. Okay, and then rest is like same. So when I execute this now, if I go to step definition, sorry, this cucumber, right click, run as JUnit test, it will execute normally. So you can see it entered the username, it entered the password, and then tried clicking on login button. Though as correct username and password are not there, so it just came here. Now if you'll see here, uh, so those parameters were taken. Okay, so this is how you will write feature files and pass the parameters. Any questions in this? Okay, so let's do one thing. Let's change this also. User navigates to Facebook login page. I'll change this to, let's say, http colon double slash www.facebook.com. Again, there will not be any mapping. So what we'll do here, we'll come here and this URL which you passing will change this URL to, let's say, string URL. Copy this, paste it here. Okay, and here we were saying user navigates to Facebook login page. Just take this out and put here dot star, and then I'm saying com. What does this means? This means that I'm searching for something which ends with com. Okay, so here you can see it is facebook.com. So when I'll execute this, okay, so when go to this cucumber runner.java, right click, run as JUnit test. So again it will execute perfectly fine. Okay, so yeah, again, same thing. So you can see this is how it worked. Any questions now? Anyone, any questions here? Okay. Rishabh, you have a question in TestNG. We do assert. Here what we do, here also we have assert only. That is our next topic. Okay, so let's have break for 5 minutes and 7 minutes, and then we'll continue with assertions and data tables. So there are two more topics which I'll be covering in test in this cucumbers. So after the break, we'll continue with that, and then we can end our session. Okay, so let me just close all these unwanted. Okay, so let's have a break for 7 minutes, and then we'll continue with remaining topics. Okay, so we can continue with the remaining topics. So let's next topic is how we can put assertion and when your scenario fails, when our scenario pass. So if you look here, this scenario, this fourth step failed. Though I have not put any assertion, but still it got failed. Why it got failed? Because there was some exception, element not visible. Okay, so how cucumber is written, whenever your step definition throws any exception or you have a failed assert statement, then it fails your test case. Like here, in this particular scenario, there were 5 steps. First 3 runs without any exception, but the fourth one, it throws an exception stating element not found, element not visible. So exception was thrown to the calling method, to this framework, to this cucumber class, to this feature file basically. So it failed that step. Okay. So similarly, you can put any assert statement to fail or pass your test case. All those assert statement which we studied in TestNG, they all are exactly same in JUnit as well. So you can directly use them. Okay. So let's quickly write one. Let's complete that Guru 99 project for us with that feature file. So let's say I'll create another class, another file with name uh, Guru 99 project dot feature. Okay, so this feature file is created. I'll just copy all of them, and here feature will be first statement as feature. So feature will be testing. Yeah, okay, I can say Guru 99 application. Okay, scenario. There can be many scenarios. First scenario is, let's say, login to Guru 99 bank home bank. Okay. Okay, so first step will be given user navigates to http colon double slash www dot demo dot guru 99 dot com. So as soon as I write guru 99 dot com, that error is gone because this step already there. User navigates to is already there. So this step does not need any new step definition. Then I'll say when user enters uh, you, user name as you can give any name here. Say for example, we have the user ID. So I'll just copy this and paste it here. And user enters password as, will copy this value and paste it here. Okay, and then and user clicks login. Okay, then I verified user logged in successfully. So these are my steps which are written. Okay, when I execute this, right click, run as. Okay, let's run from here. Okay, it will execute both the features because both are there in that feature file. Okay, I'll disable one later on. So first this will execute, and then second one where it will navigate to demo.guru99.com, and nothing will happen. Okay. Just one more thing, I need to change this to demo.guru99.com/v4 as well. /v4. But as soon as I do this, the step becomes non-identifiable. But what can I do in this case is, in my step definition, I'll just keep this as star. I'll remove this. Okay, if I come here, save the file. Okay, I need to close it and open it again. Fine. So so remaining steps we need to get, right? So I'll go to that console and you will see those steps which are not there, they are giving us options to create them. So let's just copy all of them. Okay, I'll copy them and put it in step definition. So you can put in the same step definition, or you can simply create a new one as well. Okay, so let's say I create a new one, Guru 99 step definition. Okay, so as I told you, mix and match will also work. Some of the steps are there in Facebook, and some are there in Guru 99. That also works fine. Here, just copy paste all the steps which you just copied and import one of them. Change this when to star. Save your file. Half of the errors are gone. And here, okay. So here you can see user enters username as it is using some regex, right? I'll just remove it because what I want is I want everything to be like this. Okay, so here the name I can say enter username. Okay, the argument will change from int to string username. Okay, and then similarly this will also change user enter password as this. So here I'll change it to enter password. It will be string password. Okay, I'll remove all these things and this will change to dot star. Okay, and what else? User clicks on login, so this will remain same. I'll just remove this, and here we verified logged in successfully. I'll remove this. Okay, so now you can see that I've created this. Now I had to continue, but my WebDriver is defined in this class, Facebook login step definition. Okay, so for what you can do is, again, just like we did it for testng, what we did was we created a base scenario and then moved some of our steps to there, and then we inherited that file. Same thing you can do here as well, but for now what I'll do, I'll create a separate WebDriver. Okay, so just remember in testng what we did, we created a before base scenario class separately, and then we inherited that or inherited that class, right? The same thing you can do here as well. For now I'll just copy paste this scenario and change my uh, step definition a little bit. Like here I'll change it to user navigates to let's say I'll just add URL. Okay, and in feature file also to I'll just add URL. Otherwise you can just do the same thing which I just explained. What you can do is create a new class move out these steps and inherit. Okay, so that way your WebDriver and all will also be inherited. Okay, so we got a WebDriver, we did this. Next is here you need to enter the username, so it will be driver dot find element by dot name, and the value of name was UID dot send keys, and we'll pass username here. Copy this, paste it here. UID will change to password, and this will change to password. Then user clicks on it, so for that it will be click, and it will be btn login. Okay, and after that we have to verify. So for verify, yesterday only I wrote one simple scenario. Okay, so I'll just copy paste that scenario, not here in my other batch I wrote. So I'll just copy paste that verification part. Here is the one. Okay, so I'll just copy it, paste it here. What we are doing is, this is my see, once I log into this application, where is this demo.guru99/v4. When I log into this application, you'll see that this manager ID comes, and this verifies that I have successfully logged in, right? So here also I'm doing the same thing. I just fetched that complete manager ID, uh, sorry, manager ID statement, whatever the statement is coming here. I fetched the complete one, and then out of this I just got this. So just splitting and then getting. I did it in your batch also, so you can go through it. And then this is my actual manager ID, and uh, the one which you're getting from the user is this one, this username, right? So what I can do is I can save this username somewhere above and we can compare. So I can create a private variable, private string user ID. Okay, and that user ID I'll take here, username, and the same value we are comparing below. Okay, this I have to remove because testng is not there in it. Okay, and after that, once we compare, we are using an assert statement. Okay, assert.assert equal. This time you have to take one from org.junit. Take this assert statement, save it. Now you have added the assert statement also. All assert statement which we learned in testng, all are true in JUnit as well. They are exactly same, only the package will change. Now when you'll execute this code, it will run it, will match this, and will work. Okay, so I'll just execute it now. uh, if I close all these, open this again, you can see this is gone. And let's see if it runs directly from here also. Right click, run as cucumber feature. What happened? I guess no. So what can I do here is I can disable this test case. Uh, in SpecFlow, I remember what is the keyword to disable. Here, let me try at disable. No. Okay, I forget. In this SpecFlow I remember, but yeah, in this I don't remember. It's fine. I'll run both of them then. Or for now, we can just remove this file, or let's disable all the. Okay, let it be. Uh, I'll disable this. Okay, I'll just disable this feature and we'll execute it so that only the one can execute. Right click, run as JUnit test. Okay, so what it is saying, ambiguous given ambiguous step definition exception. Okay, okay, got it. Because here this one and this one will be exactly same, because here also you are saying URL and the other one also saying same thing. What I can do for now is just to show, uh, I'll disable it or change this given to at when something else. I just change it to at when for now and I'll execute it. Again an exception. What happened now? Now I change it. Right. What's the problem then? Let me just disable it. Okay, so you can see it has logged in, and now if I come here, the complete step is passed. I mean, all the things are passed, all the steps are passed. It has also verified that user logged in successfully. And if you deliberately fail it, let's say I come to Package Explorer and in Guru 99 step definition, if I here when we are comparing, if let's say here I just add something 11, some extra value to it, and now if I compare it to it, now if I execute the code again, you will see that uh, the assertion will fail. Now here you can see assertion has failed, this step has failed, and here the stack trace is also there, that when we verified what was expected and what was there. Okay, so say here you can see expected was this, whereas but found to be 11. Okay, so this is how you can put assertions. All assertions are valid. Okay, whatever assert statement we learned in TestNG, everything is available in JUnit and you can apply accordingly. Rest everything is up to your skills of Selenium. Basics is this. Okay, just one more scenario is left, which I'll explain you in some time. Rest everything is same. So I'll just save this file, and in Facebook feature files, we'll just remove all the this. So any questions now? Anyone? Okay. So the last topic which I want to cover in Cucumber is that is how to read data, uh, or you can say in tabular format. Like if you have currently I had one parameter, so I was just normally passing it. But let's say I'm filling up a Facebook form. Okay, I'm maybe I'm filling up this form where I'm registering for it, and I need all these parameters: first name, surname, mobile number, then new password, then male or female, and then click on create account. Let's say I want this. Okay, so what we can do in such a scenario is there, like I'll be explaining you two part this thing in two parts. One where we will read one dimensional data, and second where we will be reading two-dimensional data. Okay, so in Guru 99 in Facebook login feature, yeah, here I'll write my second scenario. So scenario is login to Facebook. I'll say register to Facebook. Okay, this will be the okay. One more thing. Here you will see that this given user navigates to facebook.com. This step will repeat in each and every step, each and every test case, right? What we can do in that case is we can take out this step which is common and which will be executed every time when we start, and put them in another keyword called background. Okay, and what background, and then I'll copy this sentence, paste it here. So now this background, what it do is it's an interview question as well. Like it was asked to me once that what if you have some common steps, what you'll when you'll execute them. So how you can write one single statement so that before any thing starts this, so whenever any scenario will start, this statement will execute first and then remaining steps will come. In this way you don't have to write the same step multiple times. Okay, now here I'm already on facebook.com. Now I can write my remaining scenario. I can say when user enters following details, or and details, now I'll start writing. So these details which I'm writing, I'll be writing in tabular format. Okay, so for that we use this pipe symbol. Okay, and here we'll say First name, let's say first name is Saurabh. Okay, so you will write like this. First name is Saurabh. Then second you need a surname. So I'll write like this. Uh, let's say Dhingra. Okay, then I need mobile number. Say okay, then I'll say password. So let's say I enter any password pro8123. Then let's say the date of birth which is highlighted, let it be, and I'll select male or female. So I'll simply say male. Okay, and then we will say user is uh, registered successfully. Okay, so these are the details I'm passing like a tabular format, and they all are one-dimensional tabular. Okay, right click pretty format, click on this. It will change it in a proper format. Proper indentation will be there. Okay, now these two steps are not there. So what I'll do, I'll just disable all these test cases, these steps, because I just want this step to be executed, and Guru 99 also I'll disable. Okay, so cucumber runner.java, right click, run as JUnit test. I'll execute it. Okay, the thing is we have like I executed this code. Okay, here if you'll observe, we have not written actual logic to perform all those operations, right? And if you observe here, I got these two methods, so I'll just copy paste them. We'll paste them in Facebook step definition, login step definition. Paste it here, and we'll remove all the extra things, and we'll remove extra things. So here I can change it to uh, fill register form. Okay, and here if you'll observe, there is something known as data table which is coming. So Cucumber provides us one class called data cucumber, which you have to take from cucumber.api, which will help us in which will help us in taking the data. Okay, so here I can simply say data, let it be data, and then you can fill up the complete form. Like you can enter first name here. From here you can take out the its ID and enter the username, enter the password, enter the surname, then this mobile number, new password, and other things. For now, I'll show you how to, I mean, I'll just print it so that you can complete it yourself, because you know how to work with Selenium. It's just that we need to learn how we can uh, get the data, right? So here, when you have one dimensional data, what you can do is there is something known as list. We have learned about list, right? So just take a list, create a list of string, and give it any name, data as list. equal to you can say data dot, there is something known as list, and here you need to tell what as what. So here I'll say string dot class. That means I want everything as string, and I'll put everything in a data as list. Now here you can simply say system.out.println user name is I can say first name is data as list dot get whatever is there at 0th index. So whatever will be there at 0th index, that will go in first name, second will go in surname, third will go in mobile number, fourth will go in this, and fifth will go in this mail, right? If I just copy it, paste it multiple times, here the second one will be last name, then phone number, okay, and then what was there next, password, and last we will add, which will be gender. Okay, here we will say 0, then 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So this way, now for this you should know what is the order is important in this case when you are doing one dimensional. So we'll learn how you can achieve this without remembering the order also. Okay, so I'll run this. Sorry, it will be cucumber runner.java. Okay, the second step was where we were just printing. So here you can see Saurabh Dhingra, phone number, then password, and then gender was printed. Okay, now you can write your code to actually enter the details, and rest you know how to do it in Selenium. Okay, any questions till now? Now comes the question that, okay, we have done it this way, where uh, it was one-dimensional data. If I have to take it as two-dimensional data, it will make our things easy. Like here I can say this is my first name, I can say this is my last name, then I can say this is my phone number, and this, let's say it's my password, and here it is gender. Okay, so again just do a right click, pretty format, so it will format it properly. Now when you read it in this, when you'll read this data, okay, what I'll do, I'll just keep this as commented, okay, so that when you'll revise, you'll get to know once the data was in one dimension format, then how it goes. So I'll say when input data was one dimensional. Okay, so when the data is two dimensional here, so in that case, instead of list, what we can do, guys, what can we do if we have two dimensional data? Instead of list, can I use map one from java.util, keys of string type, right? Values of also of string type, name it data as map equal to it will be data dot get, sorry, as maps. So here we have a method called as maps where you need to tell the key type. Key type will be string dot class and value will be string dot class. Okay, now here again let me just print it. So it will be uh, data as, or I'll just copy these things because same information we are going to print but with different format. Okay, so I'll just copy it. So here this as list will change to as map, and it will be dot get, and the value will be uh, one by one you can copy paste from here. So in your login feature the first one is first name, so I'll just copy it, put it here, then just a second, yeah, you can get in here. Just give me a second, I'll just copy paste all these. And these values will change: first name, last name, then phone number, then password and gender. Okay, now when I'll execute, now here you can see uh, when we will write this code here, earlier you had to remember the order, but now in this particular case order does not matter. You can add any random way. Okay, no need of putting a password after phone number. You can just take it out, put it after this and before that. Okay, so right click, pretty format. Clear? So when I save it, execute it, see I just changed the order, but it does not matter anymore. But if you'll use the older way, your order matters. So here if you see, everything will be printed. So first name, last name, similarly. Okay, so this is how you will read from tables for Cucumber. Okay, so yeah, that's all I have for Cucumbers. Any questions now? Shubhanshu, you had a question. What about parallel execution as we do in TestNG? That is out of scope of this course, because if I'll cover the complete Cucumber, that will be like, will take another weeks. Okay, so it whatever I planned for Cucumber, all the basics and many things which you need to start are done. Rest are advanced topic. You can just go through and Google around and you'll find. Okay, practice and you learn. But whatever I have explained you, that are more than enough to crack interviews. Okay, rest you can learn with the time. Okay, so this ends our cucumber as well. So we thought of doing it in two classes, but I was able to complete it in one. And all the planned topics are done here also. Okay, so just go through it, and if you want, replace TestNG with this cucumber in your framework, and you'll be ready to work with BDD. That is behavior driven development. There are many more frameworks available. We have covered cucumber. Yeah, that's all for today. Any questions now?